Hello friends, Dolores back with Gulf Coast Urban Farm, and today I have been invited into a collaboration that is being hosted by Tony over at Kettle Kitchen, and it's called the Jam It Up June collaboration. And I am so excited that I was invited in this because there are some heavy hitters in the canning community for YouTube that are involved in this collaboration. Now, be sure after you watch my video that you go down in the description box below, because I'm going to leave you links to every single one of them. And for this collaboration, there's going to be one video dropped daily. Yes, daily, with a canning video, and it's all jams and jellies and such, so you don't want to miss it, I promise you. So let's get started. Okay friends, I feel like I need to explain why I'm probably going to mess up the name of this jam. The actual title of the jam is Blueberry Lemon Jam, and you will find it in this book right here, the Ball All New Book of Canning and Preserving, and it is on page 60. And as you can see, it says Blueberry Lemon Jam. The very first time I made this, my granddaughter decided it should be Blueberry Lemonade Jam. So I normally call it Blueberry Lemonade Jam. So if I mess up, just know that it's actually Blueberry Lemon Jam. Okay, we're going to get started now. And what I want you to know is that we have all of our ingredients right there. Yes, everything we need is right there. And this is not a long drawn out recipe. The actual book says that you can get it done in less than an hour. So why don't we see if we can do that? Okay. The first thing we need is 4 cups of blueberries. Now, that's a lot of blueberries, right? And they look so yummy too. I'm going to dump them in here, because what I need to do first is kind of break the skin a little bit. Now, I'm not really mashing them to mash them up so much as I'm just trying to break the skin some. This is a lot tougher than I thought it was too. I don't remember it being this tough. I've never used a potato masher with it before. I usually use quite frankly, I usually just use my spoon and do it. Okay, now, once you kind of mash these up a little bit, we're going to go ahead and turn on this eye right here, turn on the stove, and we're going to dump in 3 1/2 cups of sugar. And then in this cup right here, I have 1 teaspoon of lemon zest and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Now, just so you know, this is bottled juice, because that way we know the acidity of it if we use bottled juice as opposed to a fresh lemon. Now we're just going to cook this. And I wish I was left-handed in this situation, because my arm is going to be in your way. There's not a whole lot I can do about it. It's just not. And I'm sorry about that. And once you put the sugar in it, it does make it easier to kind of break the skin on these blueberries. So, in case you have never worked with blueberries before, it does make it a little easier to just kind of damage the skin on the blueberry, maybe that's what I should say. But this is going to take a minute. And I have an old camera, so we are not going to be putting you on fast forward on the camera. And it just takes a minute. So once the sugar melts, it will start being a little easier. Of course, we have to watch it because we don't want the sugar to burn or scorch. It's important that we attend to what we're doing. I'll tell you a little horror story. A friend of mine, just a day or two ago, decided she didn't want to use sugar in her grape jelly. She called it grape jam, because she didn't make the juice first. And she didn't pay attention to it. So instead of cooking it down enough that it would work, she ended up scorching it pretty badly. So it was a total waste. And she's new to canning, so I felt really bad for her. But, you know, we all do things like that. Or at least I did. So I'm going to assume that everybody does. I do things that don't turn out right in the end, and, well, it's just kind of sad, but it happens. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back once this gets where it needs to be, and then we will put the pectin in. And the pectin that I'm using is the Sure-Jell fruit pectin, tried and true, original recipe. I could have used the low sugar or no sugar pectin. I actually had it, but this recipe doesn't call for that, and so I didn't use it. One thing you need to remember is that when you are making jams and jellies and canning them, please make sure that you follow an approved recipe and approved methods. The National Center for Home Preservation is a website that you can always go to find the right way to do things. You can also check out the USDA site for home canning, and you will get some really good information. And there are many books. There's even a USDA canning book that you can get for $14 on Amazon. Now, I don't have it. I do have it in my cart, though, and it's updated. And I believe it was updated either September or October of 2021. But I generally check things online mostly. That way I get the most up-to-date information. And that's the way I feel about it. Alright, so I'm going to bring you back when this gets to where it's time to put the pectin in. Okay, now once it gets to a rolling boil, it has to be one that we cannot stir down. And I believe we have made it there. Look at there. I cannot stir it down. It's still going strong. So we're going to now put our pectin in so that we can go ahead and get finished with this. Alright, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to sprinkle this pectin in, and we're going to stir constantly until, for 1 minute, while when it comes back up to a hard boil. So we have to get it back to a hard boil from the pectin being poured in, and then we are going to time it for 1 minute. And then I am going to set it off the heat and turn the eye off, and then we're going to put it in our jars. Oh, there we go. So that is the end of that. We're going to turn that off, and we are going to move this over here. Now we're going to start putting this in our jars. We are going to leave a 1/4 inch headspace. And after we get them filled, and I'm not real good, I'm just going to be real honest with you, I'm not real good with checking for air bubbles. I have to remind myself many times to check for air bubbles. Okay? So, y'all bear with me because I just know me. And there is that. We are going to dip this in. I'm not a big fan of these cute little jelly jars. I'm just going to be real honest with you. I don't know why. It's just that I have a hard time, I think, determining how far we need to go, and the thing is sticking in there, so it's hard to let's just push that down, make it look better. Let's try one more time. It still could use a little more. See, I know if I don't have a 1/4 inch before I check for bubbles, Okay, now let's check for bubbles. Okay. Let's check one more time. Yep. Okay. Alright, good. Now we're going to fill up another one. Trying to video this, I used the wrong eye of my stove because normally I would set my pot where I had it cooking in order to actually put everything in the jars. So it kind of has made it a little bit backwards for me because I used the wrong one, but it is what it is, and we'll be okay. I feel certain we'll be okay. And I know some of you are probably thinking, oh man, she's got that on a white towel. Yeah, not another good bad choice I made. But it'll be okay. Now when I get through doing this, I'm going to obviously I'm going to need to wipe the rims off of the jars so that I can put the lids on and make sure that there's nothing super sticky or anything. And now I gotta put that over there because okay. Now I use vinegar, and I don't use paper towels, so I have just cloth, or as some people call them, unpaper towels. Okay, so I just put a little vinegar on, and then just bring it around to make sure that I'm not going to have a sticky mess on my rim so that my jars do not seal properly. Now, that's just me. Because I know I made a mess on this. Y'all, I don't normally use these little small jars because, quite frankly, I don't really like them. And it's kind of a waste, but I don't even know where I got these jars. Someone must have given them to me, because I never would have bought them, trust me. It's just not something I would have bought. Okay, so that is done, and now we will put our lids on. Put one there, and one there, and one there, and one there. And of course, you only put this on fingertip tight because it's just there to hold a little bit of pressure on the lid. You don't want it too tight. Oh, that has a dent in it. I don't know how I missed that a minute ago. Has a dent right there, so I will not be using that one. But I have plenty that have been washed because I have been on a canning madness lately. I haven't been on YouTube putting up videos very much in the past few weeks because of other life things that kind of got in the way. So, alright, now we're going to put these in the canner and then we will get them started. Okay, friends, this is what I ended up with. 5 half pints. I couldn't find another jar like the low squatty ones, so I had some of the nice little thin ones with the regular mouth, and so I decided I'd just go ahead and put that in there. And then on top of that, I still had this left, and let me tell you, oh my gosh, it is so good. But now the recipe recommends that you wait 3 weeks after you've canned it before you eat it, because the flavors meld together and it's even better. And let me tell you, it really is. So now we're going to get these jars in the canner, and we're going to water bath can these for 10 minutes, and then we'll let them cool, and we will take them out, and yeah, we'll be done. Alright, friends, I'm going to put this in the water bath canner. Now these jars are hot, and my water is hot in my canner. And so I'm just going to put these in there. And I said that it was 10 minutes. And quite frankly, I read that in the book. But I am in a low elevation down here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. So actually, for me, it's 5 minutes that these jars of blueberry lemon jam, ooh, I got it right, aren't you proud of me? I'm proud of me. They will process for 5 minutes after it comes to a full rolling boil. Once it comes to a full rolling boil, then I will begin my 5-minute timer, and we will time it so that it has time to do what it's supposed to do. Now, let's get this started. Put my lid on. I'm going to turn up to high because we want a good rolling boil. Now, this book right here, if you are new to canning, and this is not the only one, like I said earlier, you have the National Center for Home Food Preservation, you have the USDA website. There are numerous books on the market. You can buy them at Amazon. Occasionally you can find them at thrift stores. This particular one right here, I got on Amazon, but I happened to see it in the Walmart store in my town a couple of weeks ago. So there are other places you can get it. And it's a wealth of knowledge. And it's using the correct methods, the safe methods. We always want to can safely. But inside this, because now a lot of stuff I do is pressure canning, but you have information on how to water bath can, and then there's also a chapter in here that tells you how to pressure can, along with all of these recipes that it has in here. I mean, it just has tons and tons of information. And no, I'm not an affiliate of the publishing company that does this book. I just happen to like this book. It's one that I use. This is actually my second book because the other one looks so bad. I use this one for video purposes only. My actual book is kind of, well loved. Let's put it that way. Alright, so we're going to wait for it to get to a rolling boil, and then I will bring you back. Okay, friends, please forgive the bad lighting. It is 7 p.m. here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and you know, it's been a long day. I started this late, so therefore I knew it was going to be late before I could show it to you, but there they are. They've been in the canner, they've been processed for the requisite 5 minutes, and now I have just taken them out of the canner so that they can be cooling and getting ready for me to take the rings off later and to get what the name of what's in the jars. It is beautiful, and I can't wait to have some of it, quite frankly. I really do appreciate you coming and watching my videos and hanging out with me today. It's been fun. I have missed being on YouTube for a video. I think I'm back. I will do another video to let you know what's been going on, and because I do think of you all as my friends, so you have every right to know why I disappeared for a little while. So with that being said, please make sure that you check out the other links down below in the description box to go check out the other videos. We're all doing something different. You may not like them all, they may not all sound good, but I will be willing to bet that you're going to be able to find something that sounds good. And, you know, leave down in the comments what you think about this blueberry lemon jam, whether or not you think you want to try it. I promise you it's good. My grandkids think it's good. My children think it's good. I even have friends who I've given it to and they think it's good. So, you know, canning is a way to be prepared for you don't know what, because if you knew what was coming, you would be prepared. But I was brought up during a time, well, my parents were brought up during a time when if you didn't prepare your food during the time it was being harvested, then you were probably going to go hungry. And that's kind of the way I was raised, so therefore that's what I do. So here before long I'll be having another canning video. I'll be canning salsa because my tomatoes are looking really good, and we're going to get those tomatoes done up and I'm going to make some salsa. And then there are some other videos that I have planned as well. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and click that bell so that you get notifications when I post a new video. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.